Good morning, everybody. Alright, next one on the bench for today, we've got an older Prado ECU. So there's our part number 75800 1440, and it is from a 1KZ TE manual vehicle. So this particular ECU has come in, customer has no fuel pump control, and we have found blown capacitors, so leaking capacitors. So these caps all around here have leaked. They've also leaked down here, so we've got burn marks on the board, up here as well. These two aren't too bad, but this is our main problem area. So what we're going to do is we're going to hook the microscope up, or we have hooked the microscope up, and try and get rid of that shadow that I've got there. And we've started going around and cleaning off all these burn marks just to see what the traces are like. Alright, so we'll show our areas of damage. As you can see, this we've cleaned off here. This trace looks alright. We are going to continuity check all these, so we'll check from this pin down to here. Under these caps, that isn't ideal. I can see that it's burnt right under those caps, but I'm going to have to wait till I get them off to do that area. Same with just there. Down on these traces here, that's quite burnt up, but I'm hoping that this is all still okay. It looks like it just tacks through to the other side of the board there. Put that back. That area there, these traces are all good. They'll clean up as well. Same with that area and that area. Now the only other spot we've got left is down the bottom here. Alright, so now we've got the camera hooked up over the screen, obviously, as we can see with the microscope. What we're going to do is we're going to start checking these traces. So 2 test leads, multimeters hooked up to continuity mode. So when we have continuity on a circuit, we will have beep. Now if I go from wherever the damage sort of ends on this trace, so say we go here and we run it up to here, that's good. So that trace is still good. Skip down one, so if we go from here to here, as you can see there is a slight burn mark there, but that trace is also good. So this one will go from about here all the way up to say here. That trace is good as well. These ones are fine. We might just check this one to make sure it's alright. There we go, that trace just ends there. Oh, this trace might be no good. Right, that's good to there. Good to there. No, that trace is fine. So all these traces are alright. We can just reseal that. This here doesn't matter as much. That can just be re-tinned. That's no big deal. So that's there. And then this looks like it runs under to a leg, I think. It's a bit hard to see where this runs to. That's running right up the back to another leg, so I would like to check if this is okay. See, this is what we've got to make sure we're certain of here. We don't want to leave all this crap here. That'll be causing an issue. As you can see, the board's got a clear coat on top of it. We're not worried about scraping that off, that doesn't matter, but we do want to check that all that's good. So we'll just quickly get a little bit different scraper in there. And as you can see, as soon as you get corrosion on a board like this, you end up with our the PCB coating just comes off as soon as that acid gets on there. So these legs, we're going to have to re-tin these legs and make sure that they're right. There's where that trace goes there, so we can check that trace. This here will be fine. This here as well looks okay, it's just corroded. Obviously we will clean this off once we're done as well, but we need to check how much damage we've actually got before we sort of go any further. So this trace here we want to check next. So if we go from here to, it was one of these legs. There we go, I think we're alright. Right across from that second eye. There we go. So that trace is still alright as well. this will all get cleaned up, and then once these caps are off, I'll be able to see. We're still waiting on the right size caps, but once these are off, I'll be able to see if all of this is good. And that is pretty much what we're going to do. We're going to go around, we're going to replace them all. Anywhere that needs trace repairs done, we can do them, we'll do them. But everything's looking pretty good so far. It sort of looks a lot worse than it is at this stage. Everything will be able to be re-insulated and repaired. Alright, so first cap's off, leg snapped off, had to get the leg out of the board, but anyway, as you can see, we're just going to give this a good clean up, clean that area. And we don't have any major damage or anything, no clear coats in the way. That trace, I'm just going to check this trace quickly here. So that one there where that Q-tip is, this one will be fine, that'll get tinned up, and then on the other side of the board it's all good as well. So I'll just check that trace. Alright, so our Toyota Prado ECU is all done. We've just got some UV masks drying under the light. I'll get the proper torch out so we'll show. All new caps. I am waiting on a couple for here, but these two aren't leaking at the minute, so that should be fine to just send back and we can replace them later. The main damage over here is all repaired, so we fixed one buggered trace. It was just bent at the end. UV mask over all the open areas, new capacitors on every spot, and I've got 2 capacitors coming for here, but these ones aren't leaking. That one was the main problem. So everything's all cleaned back up. We've got no shorts, no broken traces, so hopefully this thing will go back in the car and start up. I'm going to get that back stuck on there, let that dry up, and we'll give you an update once the customer gets back.